Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SHEMAKERS Live, where we have conversations to help women develop their playbooks to win in business and life. I am Shavonna Williams, your hostess and the founder and CEO of Hills and Helmets. For more than 2 decades, I've worked in marketing communications, in business, politics, and sports, 5 major sports leagues. Yes, I'm a veteran in this game, and I've had my share of victories as well as losses. But I always get back up. And you can't do that without a team. That's why I started this show, SHEMAKERS, to help more women increase their resources, get a circle of sister friends, and be able to accomplish their goals. So throughout my journey, I've been really fortunate to meet some incredible women who are not only killing the game, but share my passion to help you succeed. And I'm grateful that they come out on Wednesdays and join me for a conversation. We've been tackling issues such as negotiating, working in male-dominated environments, motherhood, managing family and career, and how do you get resources to start a business of your own. See, my goal is to help you win. Of course, in my career, I've been in a lot of boardrooms where I was the only woman, and I want to change that. I want to get more women, not only in the boardroom and at the table, but with equal pay. So thank you for joining me on this journey. Just know that you too are a she-maker, and I am here to help you unleash your power, get in the end zone, and win. Let's meet tonight's she-maker coach. Patrina King is an avid golfer, entrepreneur, youth advocate, founder of Golf Women Mean Business, and the author of 9 Holes, 9 Goals, a beginner's guide to doing business on the course. She is also the founder of Women's Golf Day in Georgia and the principal of the National Business Golf Council. Prior to founding Golf Women Mean Business, she owned and operated a pre-employment screening company where she used her knowledge from business to educate youth and young adults on how their actions will affect future jobs and college applications. Patrina is a current member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Women's Solidarity Society, a society within the National Center for Civil and Human Rights and the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Inc., MECCA chapter. Patrina studied technical management with a concentration in human resources at DeVry University and human resources at Keller Graduate School of Management. Patrina's current home is in the Metro Atlanta, Georgia area with her husband. In her spare time, when she's not working, volunteering, or spending time with friends and family, she loves to participate in sports, softball, golf, and football. So everyone, please welcome tonight's she-maker coach, Patrina King.
Good evening. Hello there. How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, well, I'm really excited to have you here. Thank you so much. I'm like, it's Women's Golf Month, and we got Miss Patrina King with us.
Yes, and I love what you're doing here at SHEMAKERS. I really, really love this whole entire channel. So, keep doing what you're doing. I'm just happy to be part of the number. So, this is great.
Thank you. Of course, I love what you're doing as well. So to get started, please tell us a little bit about Golf Women Mean Business and how you get down to business.
Yeah, so Golf Women Mean Business, we are, let's just say we are more business first than golf. And of course, because of the name, people think that we're like this big competitive league and we're just out playing golf and beating everybody down. Now, we do have some members that way, but we really try to bridge the gap between business and golf for professional women. It's one of those things where professional women may have everything in their portfolio. They have the great job. They have accomplished pretty much everything, but then it's that one thing that they're missing, and it's normally golf. When you talk to a lot of people, a lot of the women, and they're just like, hey, I wish I knew how to play, and my dad told me to play a long time ago, or whatever. It's just been a lot of different things, and so we just bridge that gap or make a way for professional women to come in without all the intimidation. Because as you know, you're a professional woman yourself. We don't show up unprepared. We have to know a little something before we go and do anything. Versus some of the men, that's one of the things about them. They'll just go out there and have no clue, and they'll just learn on the way. Professional women, we don't like to be embarrassed. We don't like to, we just like to show up and have our stuff together. And so we make a way for them to do that, break down all those barriers and just roll out the green or red carpet, whatever. Green and pink is better, but roll the carpet out for them. And so they can add that to their portfolio as well. So a lot of our women have never touched a club before. And some of the women are not as interested in touching a club. They're very interested in the networking piece and knowing how to have golf conversations. So we also, show women how to do that as well. So we are definitely business first and then, golf second. But for myself, I've been playing golf for a long time and I turn my competitiveness on and off. So, my story is a little different than the group, but I enjoy the group because we have a combination of women who can actually play and then women who are learning and just want to kind of know about the game.
Where are you finding that women think about golf?
Okay, say that again. I'm sorry, I missed the question.
No problem. I feel like we had a little interference there. What do women express as the most intimidating thing about golf?
Everything, just golf in general. It's mostly because it's male dominated. Like you have the male dominated industries. Some women are a little bit more comfortable with going into those industries because they have the education to back it up. It's the exact same thing with golf. You have a male dominated sport. We provide the education to back up those women so they can go and not have to be so intimidated. But it's really because they don't see a lot of women out there. And then you have the whole stereotype about the women who actually play. Some are either a little too tough, or some are a little too serious, or some are just out there to find a husband. Personally, I'm good with all of it. But it just, when you're just not sure, and again, I told you about professional women. We don't like to not be prepared. So it's really just because it's a male dominated sport and it's not something that, you can just learn by watching television per se.
Yeah, we want to bring our A game in every area, no matter what we're doing.
Yeah. I may not play well. I know what I'm doing kind of thing. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. And I think there is a lot of pressure on women to do so, especially African-American women. Like there are not a lot of us in the environments that we're in. So it's like, if I'm going to do it, I need to do it well and represent.
You know what? That's interesting you said that, because that is true. That is true. And most professional women think that. And it's not that it's wrong at all. So I don't want to say that it's wrong. But I look at myself, right? And because I know the game so well, and I've been around the game so long, and I know how to use the game as needed, I don't care how they look at me, when it comes to stuff like that, because I know my stuff. And that's my biggest thing with women. Like, I would prefer women not to come in with that mindset, which we know is there. You can't stop it. But if you're comfortable and you're familiar, then you don't have to have that on your sleeve. That could be in the back of your head versus in the front, if that makes sense.
Definitely. I think it's like anything in life. The more you practice and learn, gain knowledge, you get your confidence.
Yep, that's it. Confidence is key. Absolutely.
Well, your story is not like a lot of the women you work with, or most of them, because I did read that 90% of the women who join your organization and sign up for your clinics and workshops have never touched a golf club prior to working with you. So your story is the complete opposite. Where did your love for golf come from?
So my dad, I wouldn't necessarily call it love at first sight for sure. That's a nervous giggle because he may see it, but so he taught me how to play when I was 5. And then by the age of 7, I was actually competitive. I was actually a better golfer than he was. And my dad is super competitive. So imagine the 7-year-old versus the 30, I don't know how old he was, but the grown man versus the kid. Yeah, and he's out there trying to beat me down because I'm that good. and because I'm thankful that he taught me that early, because it was effortless for me. For him, he had to put in the work and actually think about it and do. And I'm out there just trying to have fun and just hang out with my dad. But it was him. He was a self-taught golfer, or he is a self-taught golfer. He's still here, but he started playing golf with iron pipes and rocks and things like that, because they were not allowed on the golf course in rural Georgia South. So he would be over in the little open park, and he'll get his iron pipes, and he and his brother and some friends, they're over there he's getting birdies, with iron pipes and rocks. And so they used to jump the fence and go get on the golf course after it closed and play. So that was before me. I'm the middle of 3 girls, and so I ended up being the boy of the family somehow. But so that's how I got to learn golf. He took me, and I became the golfer with him. That's where it came from.
Did your other 2 sisters play at all?
No, they couldn't tell you. I can tell you what a golf ball is, because they were around the house. Golf clubs everywhere, trophies everywhere. We grew up looking at it, but no, not at all. Not at all. Mm-mm.
Too funny. So when did it click that it was a business opportunity?
Yeah, so I did not like golf, to be honest with you. That's where that nervous laugh came from earlier. But I just did it because when you're from the South, and some people maybe even from the North, but for sure from the South, when your dad says something, you just do it. You don't ask questions. You don't have an opinion about it. You do it, and you do it right. And so I just had to play throughout school or whatever. And then when I got to high school, I started the high school golf team for girls. And as soon as I graduated, I really didn't want to play golf again, because I was forced to be competitive. Now, I told you golf for me was effortless. So to have to turn on all of this other stuff and, go out and try to beat everybody down, and being the only girl and the only Black person, it's just so much at the golf course. I kind of wanted to make friends. I wanted to be friendly and, hey, what are you guys doing afterwards? But I was taught to, you just beat them down. You don't need friends, kind of thing. And so it just wasn't fun for me. And then when I graduated, I didn't want to play anymore. But I fast forward to starting my business. I was glad that I had golf in my back pocket, because I needed it. My first business was a background investigations company. And most of that kind of business, you have to have connections. You have to know people. You can't just do a lot of cold calls. And, it's relationships. And so I started playing golf again, and there it is. And I blew the first opportunity. If we want to talk about that, we can, but I blew the first opportunity. And then I talked to my mentor about it. And then that's how it became a business opportunity, because my mentor was telling me more women need to know how to do this. More women need to play golf. And she's a professional, lady as well in the corporate world. And she was just like, no, this is good. You went through this, and women need to know. And I'm like, yeah, women don't want to play golf, because, I didn't see any growing up. So she had me sit on her panel. She has a conference every year. And I sat on her panel, talked about my experience with golf and the parallels between golf and business. And my talk for that conference became my business plan for Golf Women in Business.
Really? So what did you share in that?
Yep. Oh, wow. I shared how, well, first I remember saying something about how you can go to lunch with people, and then your representative is there. And you can have 2 or 3 1-hour lunches with people, separate, and you really don't get to see the person. But when you play golf with them, the representative has to come off, because at some point, unless they're like a professional, but even professionals too, they're going to hit the ball in the water, they're going to hit it in the tree. It's not, the ball isn't going to do what they want it to do. So then how do they react to that? So then you start seeing how people are for real. And then I also talked about the different golf clubs. These are different tools that you need to get around the golf course. And these tools are like your toolbox in corporate. You have to have different tools to get to certain levels. Girl, that whole conversation, it was lit, if you ask me. But I don't remember it all. But yeah, it was really just breaking down how, golf is really not that different from business when you think about the strategy of it and what it takes to play it and play it well. And then the people, and then how you want to use it to pursue certain people, because a lot of people think, oh, golf, you network on the golf course, and then that's not really true. That's not how it goes down. So I talked about all of that.
Yeah, you can get to know someone because you're right. You'll see someone, like how they respond when they're frustrated, when they are successful, when they lose, when things aren't going their way, and a little bit of integrity.
All of that. Oh, integrity. Oh, integrity. Yes, ma'am. I've played golf with quite a few people that I would prefer not to. I don't have to see them again in life because it's just that bad. Once you get to see them, they just don't operate like you would think. Now, these are also people who I've been to lunch with a few times who, I didn't see these things, but then we get to, like we're playing in a scramble tournament or something. And then I'm seeing some numbers that don't necessarily add up to what I saw happen on the course. So, yeah, and that's why golf is considered the business sport, the number one business sport, because of the honesty and the integrity that comes with it. There are no referees out there. It's just you and yourself. So
that's so true. And as much as I've been that we are all just refereeing ourselves.
That's it. Yeah. And then the downfall happens if you're not being honest, and then someone knows, that you're not being honest. And then, that whole thing comes out. And then it's like, okay, you really didn't have to do that because we're not getting a check at the end of the day. So what are we cheating for? So golf tells you a lot.
Right, definitely. Yeah. And if someone will do that when they're not getting a check, what will they do when money is on the line?
Bingo. That's it. That's it.
So what happened in your first business that made you return back to golf?
Okay. So like I said, the background check industry is relationship driven, right? And so a lot of relationships are built on the golf course. Now, yes, I was able to go to that first because I had the golf background. So I just went and started playing on the driving range, practicing on the driving range, hoping to see somebody, and I knew this one guy that I was interested in like pursuing because I knew about a contract that they had. I knew where he played golf. So I went and, did my thing, showed up and kind of, oops, hey, how you doing? Didn't know you'll be here kind of thing. And, so we were just on the driving range. And, I hit the ball pretty far and I catch a lot of I get a lot of attention, from the driving range sometimes. And not, I'm also like a unicorn out there in the middle of the day a lot of times. So, he came over and we spoke, and then we planned to do the round of 9 holes. And then, I went home and prepared because I needed him to know I was serious, because like we just talked about, golf will tell you a lot about the person. So I needed him to know that I knew the rules and all this good stuff. So I played by all the rules. We did all the rules, all the penalties and things like that. And then, of course, I ended up beating him because I was taught to beat you down. I wasn't taught to go out there and do business. I was taught to play hard. And then he's an older white guy, so I'm like, he needs to know that I'm serious, and then, but he didn't talk to me anymore after that. He didn't want to go in and, have the conversations afterwards and all of that. So that's kind of how I ended up. Like I told you, I talked to my mentor about that situation and then I told my dad too. And then my dad started laughing. He's like, you don't beat the person you want business from. And I'm like, well, that's great to know because you told me to beat everybody. And it was just like, okay. Say that again, that one thing, right.
And he forgot one thing though.
Yeah, the main thing. But it's okay because it worked out good. My mentor was just very adamant about it. My whole story, she was just like, no, this is a whole business. You need to do this. And I mean, it took like 8 months for me to even take her serious. I'm like, no, women don't want to play. And then once I put it out there, saw the need, saw the women, saw the response, that's how I returned back to golf. I took you around the world to tell y'all that.
No, we want to go around the world with you.
Yeah, so that's the story. That's how it happened. And I'm not really mad that he did not, want to talk to me, because once I figured out it wasn't anything that I did, and it actually ended up something better. Because had I got that contract, I probably would have still been in that business. I just would have been continuing down that path. But this one put me on another one. So yeah, I'm happy about it.
Do you ever see him now?
I saw him once, but he didn't recognize me, for whatever reason. So yeah, I saw him kind of actually at your one of your places that I met you, but he was in the corner, and I'm like, yeah, and I just kind of kept going. I didn't say hey or what happened, because I would have kind of been still salty. Like, how did you just not follow up? But yeah, he saw me but didn't recognize me, and I just didn't even make a familiar face or anything. So yeah.
Well, what are some success?
And then his ego was crushed.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, what do you say?
We talked about how we learn a lot about people from playing golf, and you learned how big his ego was.
I wasn't surprised after I found out, but yeah, I was good not doing with him, but yeah. All right. So I'm sorry. What did you say? I was still talking. What was your question?
Oh, no, it's fine. I asked you about a success story, like how golf has helped you land contracts or learn something about a potential, prospect.
Yeah. So more recently, I was introduced. Okay. So this kind of goes back. So golf is my thing. There was a lady that calls herself the golf widow because her husband played golf all the time, and he was a member of, like, Club Corp or something, one of those kind of things. And the bills that would come to the house, like, he played golf all the time. And so when she divorced him, she called herself the golf widow. Now, she was a big executive at Coca-Cola. Now, I knew she moved, and I, have another place as well, and so in Maryland, and so we met up in Maryland, and we had, drinks, whatever, just hang out at the pool and the beach and all that stuff. Then she introduced me to another lady who worked for Bowie State University. Now, the lady that she introduced me to was a contractor, and she doesn't play golf at all. But her job was to bring in, like, donors and get people involved in their golf tournament. So my friend introduced me to her. This person that worked at Bowie State University put me on the team with the president of Bowie State University, because she's the first female president. She had just got there, and she was a golfer, a big time golfer. Like, she loves golf. And so I got to play in the tournament with her. So after the tournament was over, while we're playing, we're having a good time, doing what we do, how you just build relationships on the golf course. I was building the relationship. And at the end of that particular tournament, after one round of 18 holes, she went to the 19th hole, the reception of the golf tournament, and made the announcement that she and I were going to work together to put a golf program in Bowie State University. And so that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years, working with their students, staff, and faculty to bring golf, introduce them to golf, get them playing golf. And then we're now moving into an actual intramural kind of golf team where they would play against other teams there. And this is not like volunteer work. This is a contract. So that's just a very recent one is happening now. I'm going back next week for our last session on June 10th. So that's a success story for me, a more recent one that I can, I don't have to go back 3-4 years or 5 or 6 years. So yeah.
That is amazing. No pitching, not spending hours building out a fancy PowerPoint or keynote, but authentic conversation on the course.
That's it. And I didn't have to go through a lot of the other, I got to get registered with this, and I got to get this certification, and I got to get that, and I eventually had to, but it wasn't like I had to have those things in order then, because it was, a lot of times people are pulling from a database, but it's something different about getting to know the person that you're going to be working with one-on-one. So.
Definitely, especially and you're working closely together.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you one more story. It doesn't necessarily, it is kind of it is a plus for me, but I can tell you what happened to someone. I agree, Stephanie, for sure. But I will tell you, this didn't work out well for her. I was at a tournament, and this one lady was trying to do some networking on the course, and it was 4 people on our team. One was a huge decision maker. The other one was a friend of that person, and it was us 2. So she was pitching on hole number 1 she had a PowerPoint in her phone, and she had it printed out. And so she went and she was pulling out her PowerPoint on hole number 1 to show this person what she's doing and how they can help her. And so by hole number 4, the decision maker found a way to leave her, come over to me, and have a conversation, and then told me that she can't even focus on her game because of what this person is doing. And by the end of that round, that I was getting a check from that person.
You just get in your bag.
Yeah, so we ended up doing business together. Not sure what happened there, and I wasn't even there to pitch. I was there to play golf, but it was I like you. Let's see what you got going on. Okay, we can help you there. And it was great.
Definitely.
So it can go both ways.
Yeah, well, you have to know why you're there. You have to know why you're there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, who was bringing out a PowerPoint presentation?
Man, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I'm like, where are you keeping this stuff? So yeah.
Gosh. Well, you've had a couple of different businesses. How do you move from idea to action?
So I was blessed with the ability to not think too much about it. Like it can be an idea. And then once I put the steps in order, I just do it. Like, I don't ask questions. Most people say, oh, well, you need to put a survey out there. Oh, you need to do research. Let me tell you something. Had I done research, Golf Women Mean Business wouldn't exist. Because I would have had to go through all these different trainings and get all these certifications and become this person and that person. I just don't. And I'm kind of a person that if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. You can always get a job, so that's kind of how I do it. I just go. I got an idea. I got the steps. I got how I'll make my first $10, and then we're just going. That's just how it's going to go. So now your business, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And your business experts may not agree. They'll tell you to do certain things, and I do. People don't. I have a lot of time to waste too, so I can't. I would never be anybody's business coach. I can tell you, I can show you how to do things, but I would never, because I take risk. Like, I take big risks. A lot of people are not in a position to do that, and I'm clear on that too. So I try to let people know that.
Being realistic about your resources. But what you're saying, what I hear at least, is that you're comfortable failing. Like, I'm going to try this.
Absolutely.
If it does not work out, I'll get back up, make some tweaks, and try it again. But I'm not going to allow perfection to stop me from just getting out there. And it's not without planning. Like you said, I have an idea. I think about the steps that I need to take to make it happen, and then I do it. And I have experienced.
You'll overthink yourself out of it.
You were talking about starting a podcast. You said, Shavonna, you had your phone, Patrina. Shavonna, you can start a podcast right now. Like, here's an app. You're going to interview, start talking.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's going to pay me for that, and I'm not going to say nobody would, but that's not what people would sign up for. They would want more of a detailed thing. And I'm a very real person, I don't have a lot of fluff anywhere, when it comes to talking and things like that. So yeah, we just do it. If it doesn't work, just do something else. That's just how I do things.
So how do you approach your training?
Oh, very realistic. So I approach it in a way where I try to get people to know why they're doing things. I don't bring the ladies to the golf course to do swing lessons first. I get them to understand golf concepts first. So you'll know why certain things are the way they are. And I, work with pros at golf courses and things like that to actually teach the swing and things like that. You have to know how to swing, of course, to play golf. But I have an approach where if you know why this is this way, or why is this grass this way, or what is this long thing, and why is this sitting here, and why does it apply to me, or how does it apply to me? That's my approach, to make it more personable, so you know what you're doing when you get out there. So when you grab the club and you hit it, and you're trying to hit the ball, and you're trying to hit the ball to a certain area, you know why you're going there. If you just go and do a lesson, you know how to swing the club, you know how to hit the ball, and you may know how to hit it well, but you may not be clear on why. So I take the why approach.
So you starting in the classroom before you getting out on the green.
Absolutely. I call it the conference room. And I used to, when I would sell my services to the corporations, I'm like, yeah, I just need a conference room. And they just were like, oh no, can we go to like East Lake? And sure, we can go to East Lake, but I just need the conference room and some lunch. That's all I need today. And then we get over to, East Lake or wherever they do their lessons. So yeah.
How has it been received from a corporation standpoint?
It's great. It's been received great, very positive. I do find, some people, you have golfers that work, of course, in corporate, and they kind of want to design their own program, or, want to do it in-house. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I'll show you how to do it. I just want to see more women out there. I'm not greedy and thinking I need to be the only person doing anything. Nothing in life is that way. And if I'm the only one, then that means something is wrong. Something's not working. So, but corporations, they love the idea. They sign up normally right away. It's just a matter of getting the women involved and interested. I've had a lot of women show up in their heels, and they're just kind of there because someone up top said they should be there, but they're not necessarily engaged, so that's kind of the only downfall to it. But for the most part, no, corporations love it.
That's great. You know, you were just saying that there's a problem if you're the only woman out there. With that, I want to know how you manage being the unicorn on the golf course.
Just like this. I really, I think I'm used to it. You know, I'm definitely used to it. I try to get the other women more used to being that as well. A lot of them are not there yet. But, you know, I just show up and I belong everywhere you belong. You know, there's no second guessing anything. You know, anywhere business is going down, anywhere golf is going down, unless there's like a $20,000 initiation fee or something. I belong just like you do. So, and I really just operate like that.
As part of your work, you proclaimed Women's Golf Day proclaimed by Governor Deal. What led to that?
Oh, one of those days where I had an idea. And it was because actually I was talking to Erica Mitchell. She's in Atlanta. She's on Atlanta School Board. And we were just talking, and you know, the way we do golf, and you know, the big push in golf is growing the game, right? And a lot of people don't have patience for new golfers. They want to grow the game, but you also have to have patience. And so, you know, you had the National Golf Day and all that good stuff, but you didn't necessarily have the golf, anything that celebrated our type of golf, you know, not necessarily competitive, you know, just interested, you know, and a lot of people in Georgia didn't know all the resources that were available. So, you know, we were sitting down and we just decided, you know, what about a women's golf day in Georgia? I was like, oh, yeah, let's go do that. And we just did it. It was really, it was really that, you know, then we had to write it all up and, you know, talk about it. And what is funny to this day is when we walked in the chambers with Governor Deal, I think he was a little surprised to see us. He was like, "Are these the golf women?" We're like, "Yeah, it's us. Hello."
But as you said, you belong anywhere. Maybe he felt out of place, but you were not.
And yes, I still got that picture, smiling from here to here. So yeah.
What do you hope comes from Women's Golf Day in Georgia?
So we have to right now we have to renew it every year. They are working on making it a solid holiday for the state. As soon as that happens, we're good. But to see that come to fruition and have all of the golf resources available in Georgia for people to come and just see and get to know and sign up and get involved. You know, golf it's an interesting sport when it comes to business owners and things like that. But I really hope Women's Golf Day in Georgia would just bring all of those resources together, everybody, you know, in one room or one. We did it at the Capitol. Like, we'd like to do it at the Capitol. So if we can go back to the Capitol and have everybody up there who's offering stuff in Georgia, you know, and if not in the state, just kind of the metro area and a little bit out, that will be a dream come true for me. But the entire state will be even better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that you'll get there.
Working on it.
Well, as part of you launched a foundation to help youth learn about this sport. Do you want to tell us about that and the high tea that's coming up?
The first part, I missed you on the first part. What about the foundation?
Just tell us about the work that the foundation is doing and your fundraiser, the high tea that's coming up.
Oh, sure. So so the Golf Women Mean Business charities, we closed that and we partnered with Excel Youth Academy. Sorry, EYA Academy, where they teach kids golf through STEM. And so we have partnered with them, and that is our foundation right now. So we have they do a lot of golf clinics, and kids are using anything in STEM. They're not just doing the clinics and playing golf. They're actually painting, writing, measuring, all that good stuff. I kind of have a STEM background, but I don't tell people because I don't remember anything. That's just how technology is. But so they are doing that. And then our fundraiser, it's kind of, because we're just out of COVID, I didn't really call it a fundraiser this time. It's more like, let's get out of the house and then next year bring your wallet. So the high tea is happening at Brookfield Golf Country Club, in Roswell. We are going to have our big fascinators, big hats on, our dresses. We're going to play some games, and you're going to learn how Patrina King does things. It is a high tea, but it is actually a play on words, so it's a high T-E-E. So the rules don't really apply to us, and if you're coming, you're going to see why. But it's going to be fun. We have open bar, we have DJ and all that good stuff, so it's going to be very fun. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you there.
Yes, I am coming, and I have to decide what I'm going to wear. I haven't decided between fascinator or a hat, but I'm so excited. This is like my first time, getting it all together post-COVID.
Yes,
it's
like
coming out.
Absolutely. Yes. He's coming out with the hats, but you came to the one with Dr. Welter, didn't you?
I did. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
I sure did.
Yep.
So had a great time.
Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of the same, but it's no, I shouldn't say it's gonna be a lot different. So I'm looking forward to it. You'll have some stories to tell, trust me.
Oh Lord. I'm like,
it's gonna be very fun.
Did this need to be on a Saturday, or do I need to take off Monday?
Well, so the open bar it'll depend. Well, no, it'll be fine. I mean, we do everything with class, so you'll be fine. Just as long as you can, monitor yourself a little bit, because, but it'll be good. It's fine.
Very good. What's the most rewarding thing about your work?
The women, and so we did get a man. We did get one male member, and that was exciting. But the most rewarding is seeing these ladies not only connect, but they're playing golf, they're connecting inside and outside of golf. Women mean business. I just to see more women on the, because when you're in a professional environment, a lot of times you can't walk next door and have business conversations because the person next door is a man. You can't really bounce things off of men all the time because they may not understand the home life, what comes with the kids, what's coming with, the duties of a wife, a mother, or whatever. And so to see these ladies actually connect and have just amazing conversations and, play golf and hang out, go on trips together, that's rewarding enough for me. And I mean, I've been told that I don't get paid enough for this, but it's not even, for me, it's not even really about the pay. It's really just to have the feeling that I have when I see that, that's enough payment for me. So yeah, that's the most rewarding.
Well, tell everybody.
Plus the membership fee. So membership is open twice a year. We have so Dr. Georgette, I think she's in this room, but she's one of our founding members, and she's the one that brought back membership. She was just like, I miss golf, women mean business, and I kind of like gave it a rest for a minute, and so she was like, okay, bring it back. So we brought it back, and so now, and she's coined the term cohorts for golf women mean business, because we open membership twice a year and we take them through a training, online and offline. And so it's hard to have it open all year, because if you're just jumping in and we're in the middle of a training or something, it's kind of weird and you may be behind. So we we do cohorts a year, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's 3 levels. We have a social level. Those are the women who I told you that and my daughter's cat for some reason is talking to the air. Sorry about that. But the social membership is $99 a year. That's for the women who may not be heavy golfers, but they do want to learn. Then there's a premium and a premier. It's 2 others. I don't remember the name, but it's $175 and then 350. So the 175, it's social plus you get the free trainings, and then you also get to play in sponsored events, because a lot of times companies will sponsor us to play in their golf tournaments. And so if you're on that level, you get to play in these tournaments for free. And then the next level, the 350, is all of that, plus you get a golf box for her 4 times a year. And in this golf box, it's a subscription box. It's full of golf stuff, and you get it 4 times a year, plus all the other benefits. So we have 3 levels. Our membership is actually open right now until, we said June 5th, but we're going to have to leave it open until after the 15th. So it's open now until the 15th, for people who want to come in for this particular membership. But the next one will be like the end of the year up until the first of the year. So it's like middle and end of the year when we open it up. So
when will this June cohort start?
So this one, we're having, okay, let me think. We had to move it from the 15th. So the 1st of July is when the cohort will start. Yeah.
All right, we'll have to.
And then we're going on a trip. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. We are going on a trip to the PGA Resort in August, the 19th through the 22nd. The welcome party is on a yacht. We're excited about that. And then we have 3 days of golf and play. We're just going to stay at the resort and hang out. That is the 19th through the 22nd. Yes. And that's West Palm Beach, Florida, where we're going. So excited about that as well.
Do you have to be located in Atlanta?
You do not. So we have members everywhere. We actually have our first member in the Bahamas. And it's great because she actually works at one of the big resorts there, or she's over the resorts or something. So we're going to take the group down there at some point to play. But COVID messed up a lot of that. But to answer your question, no, you do not have to be in Atlanta. We have people from all over. The training's online. You can always get those. Now, the in-person training, you could fly in and train with us, or we can set it up to where you'll just train in your area as well. So that's the long answer to say no, you do not have to be in Atlanta.
And we know you are connected to around the world. I'm like, Patrina,
I'm getting there.
Go, out on the driving range. She has a spot. Patrina, I'm ready to do my peach afternoon. She has a spot.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that too. I saw it's the end of this month, closer to the end of this month, right?
Yes, June 26th. We're gonna close out Women's Golf Month with the peach afternoon tea this year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep, good stuff. Yeah.
So if you had to give us the cliff notes of 9 holes, 9 goals, what would they be?
The cliff notes is basically, it walks you through every hole, how to build a relationship on the golf course in 9 holes of golf. And every hole of golf has a goal. So at the end of that hole, you should meet this goal. Now, I also talk about how you don't want to use the book as a step-by-step guide, because some conversations will continue. You may start a conversation at hole number 1 and you don't finish it until hole number 4. But you don't want to interrupt that conversation just because the book said so, So it's more of you want to read it, understand the goals. And if you get in a situation where you're in an awkward situation where you don't really like the person or it's not really working out, then you can follow the book, because normally by the end of each hole it's an awkward silence. So you just use that book to, pitch a conversation or whatever. But it's just like a guide. It's just a guidebook to help you get through 9 holes of golf without embarrassing yourself, and without putting out PowerPoints and things like that.
No, we don't want you to do that. We
No.
want you to
And actually yes, and that actually that led me to write that book. That particular incident led me to write the book, because I'm like, this can't happen. No.
What are some of the other good lessons in the book?
How not to talk too much. Don't ask for business on the golf course. Don't, you can't ask for business and get to know people at the same time. What else? Don't get too personal. You definitely don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's keep it high level. That's what I want to say. Yeah. What else is in there? Oh, and follow up. Be sure to follow up and remain professional. But follow up is key. You can have a great round of golf with someone, and then if they never hear from you, they could assume that you're not interested. Like, you're waiting on them, they're waiting on you. Nobody follows up, and then everything goes down the drain. And it also talks about, I think it talks a little bit about not necessarily competing and beating them as badly as I did that one guy. It's not a matter of letting them win per se, but give them mulligans. Let them redo stuff. So yeah.
Well, explain to everyone what a mulligan is.
A mulligan is a do-over. It's a do-over, a free do-over. Now, mulligan is not in the official golf rule book. So don't go up to Tiger Woods and them talking about a mulligan. Why he can't take a mulligan? It's not official. Mulligans are unofficial. They're in like tournaments and when you're just playing with friends. But it's a word used to do over your shot. If you hit a shot, it goes in the woods. You just hit it again, and you don't take a penalty or stroke or anything like that. You just hit it over like nothing ever happened. That's what a mulligan is. And I didn't give that guy though.
No, you were killing everybody back then.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's a penalty. We gotta mark that. Yeah, so yeah, don't do that.
We have another question here. For someone looking to get into golf for whatever reason, what's the first thing they should do to start?
Well, first make a decision that that's what you want to do, because golf can be very time consuming. A lot of people want to do it, but they won't invest the time, energy, and money. Golf is not cheap. Now, there are ways to make it affordable, and it's not that you have to spend a whole lot of money all the time, but your initial investment in golf, time and money, is going to have to be there. So the first thing you have to do is be very clear. That's what you want to do. And then you can always go to a local golf course and take a lesson, and being that, you've asked me that, now you will go and you'll play and you'll learn, and then you'll know what to ask. Like, you can develop your questions, because a lot of times people take lessons and they don't know what they don't know. So you have to find a way to learn the rules and the etiquette, as well as how to swing the club and why things work the way they do. So, you can always join us. That's always my answer. Join us to learn, to understand the golf concepts. But if not us, a company or organization like us, to teach you, the rules and etiquette and the whys of golf, and then also to take a lesson from someone. Now, a lot of people do start with lessons, and that's not a bad thing if you're just, trying to get interested and trying to find your way. At least you can get started that way, and then work your way backwards, and then go back forward. So, yeah. Or go with a family member or a friend. A lot of times people will just ride out to the golf course with their family members or friends to see if they even want to do it before they start investing money into money and time into the sport.
Cute. A lot of fun things coming up. You all also, of course, can join us and have a little tease and get one lesson in with us, and then join Golf Women Mean Business for something longer and truly develop your game.
Yes, absolutely.
So when people leave Golf Women Mean Business, what do you want them to take away from their experience?
Wait a minute, people don't leave. What do you mean? No, I was kidding.
Complete their cohort, complete their initial training, I'll call it.
Yeah. No, that's okay. No, I was just playing. So I want you to be able to play in a scramble. They should be able to, if they have done the work, they should be able to play in a scramble after the cohort. Now, we do have people who pop in and out of training, kind of show up sometimes, and then they'll show up to tournaments unprepared. It's embarrassing sometimes, but I understand. I just pull them to the side and tell them what's what. They're still members. But the idea is to, again, invest that time in to get all the information up front. So when you show up, you know exactly what to do and ask questions. And really, if you do what you're supposed to do, if you invest the time like you're supposed to, you should have done a practice round before the tournament. So even if we didn't cover every single thing in the training, you know what questions to ask prior to the tournament. So, yeah. So when they leave, the idea is for them to be able to play. And we'll play in tournaments together. Like we'll take, a few teams to a lot of tournaments and play together, and that's always fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I cannot believe that we are like already at time. I knew it would go by so fast.
It did. I'm thinking it's 30 minutes in.
I know.
Yes.
I was like, we can't even go on to another topic. Well, on this show, I can't let you go without having you complete my 3 sentences.
Oh, yes. Okay. Hold on. All right, go.
Okay. The song in my head when I am walking up to the first hole is
Something Lil Wayne. It's some real gangster stuff. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Yeah, it's some guilty pleasure stuff in there. Normally it has Lil Wayne in there, so yeah.
All right, the Georgia rappers, the Atlanta rappers, about to be mad at you now.
Well, I mean, I'll listen to them too eventually.
Oh gosh, too funny. Okay, so you have 2 books out now. One, 9 Goals, the business guide to golf, and the new one about you and your dad playing golf as you were growing up. So what will the book be titled that's your story?
It's actually titled Destination Deferred.
Ooh, Destination Deferred. That's interesting. Because I feel like
it's gonna be
so young. It's like she identified her purpose and walked in it.
Yeah, I started it already. Actually, I've done a documentary already. I didn't put it out. That it's not like out. Some people have seen it. Some of the members have seen it, but I have a documentary already. And they went back to my hometown and we talked to my dad and all that stuff. So I'll do a book to go with that, and we'll see what happens.
Where can the book be? It's 9
It's I think it's still on Amazon. You can still get it on Amazon. Yeah. I don't know if it's still on the website, but Yeah, I started focusing on the other one and forgot to put that one out. Isn't that crazy? Sorry about that. But yeah, I think it's still on Amazon.
Well,
9 holes, 9 goals. Oh,
I
good.
have a couple. So if you're attending our peach tea, you may just win one.
Yeah, you'll have a few. I'll give you some. You got 2, 4. Yeah, I'll give you like 3 more. You'll have 5. Yeah.
Okay, and our last statement is, I know that I have made it when Golf Digest has me on the cover and the headline is this.
Yeah. It has to be do golf different. Doing golf different, something like that.
I like that. You
Yeah.
certainly are, and we
Yeah.
thank you for it.
Thank you. I
So
like
before
that.
I let
Yeah.
you
And with
go,
clothes on.
with what on?
With clothes, because Golf Digest likes to put the women on the course on the cover that's kind of skimpy. So yeah, no. Do golf different for sure. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. On several levels, we're doing golf different. How about that?
Absolutely. There we go. There we go.
It is interesting. I mean, that's another conversation for us to have. But when you like look up the top women golfers, why do you get headlines like sexiest women golfers? You don't get that for men. Like as I was
Nope.
preparing content for this month, looking up quotes from executives in golf and of course female golfers, that is what I saw. And I'm like, we don't do that for men.
Yeah. 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 Because that's their way of keeping it male dominated, but we don't even have to kick down the door. We just push it open and and just do our
Exactly.
thing. We don't pay attention to that. So yeah.
So what is your essential note that everyone listening tonight must put in their playbook to develop their game plan to win in business and life?
Be authentic. You have to be authentic. There's a certain perception that comes with golf, and it doesn't always. If you go into golf with that perception in mind that you have to be that way, it doesn't always work out for you. Most of my bigger contracts, clients, best relationships have come with my country twang, my keep it realness, and it's not that I'm doing it on purpose, it's just who I am. And they are attracted to you because they see robots all day. So ultimately be authentic. And if you're authentic with it and professional, don't be too authentic like you're at the cookout, but just be authentic at your professional level. That definitely needs to be in your playbook. And you kind of I personally think you'll get a little further just being yourself.
Well, thank you for those. We appreciate you and look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. And thanks to all the questions and comments. I was kind of reading them and trying to stay on track. So thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you and have a good night.
All right. Thank you. You too.
And thank you all for watching. Wasn't that so good? I just love Patrina. Good energy and definitely a game changer. I'm so glad that she was able to join us, and I'm really happy that you all were able to watch it live with us. If you have other questions about golf, business, networking, please email us or drop a comment on one of our social pages, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn, and we'll be sure to follow up with you all. And I hope to see some of you on June 26th at our Peach Afternoon Golf Tea right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter, get in the huddle with us, and you will receive a special code to access the pre-sale for tickets and get a discount. Tickets will go on sale to the public this Saturday, so there's still time for our subscribers in the huddle to get access to those very limited tickets. Okay. Next week, we're going to continue celebrating Women's Golf Month. We have Allison Fillmore coming to SHEMAKERS, She is the Vice President and Executive Director at the PGA Tour Championship. She has worked in sports in several different environments, from the NFL to the WNBA and even NASCAR. So we're going to have a good time with Allison next week, and I hope that you all will be able to join us live for that conversation as well. Until next week, remember, you all can connect with us anytime through our website and on social media. We're at Heels and Helmets on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Until next week's conversation with Allison Fillmore, remember, you are a playmaker, and I am here to help you make big plays, unleash your power, get in the end zone, and win. Have a good night.